Top 5 facts about Geordi La Forge, and you won't believe number 1. Most fans remember Geordi as the guy who runs the engine room. But that's not where he started. In Season 1 of The Next Generation, Geordi was the helmsman. He flew the Enterprise. He was an ensign at the con, steering one of the most powerful ships in Starfleet. It wasn't until Season 2 that he was promoted to chief engineer and moved down to engineering. One career pivot, and the character we all know was born. Makes you wonder who he'd have been if he'd stayed at the helm. Like and subscribe for Part 2. It gets better. Geordi La Forge is named after a real person. George La Forge was a quadriplegic Star Trek fan. Writer David Gerrold suggested the name to Gene Roddenberry when The Next Generation was in development. Roddenberry had already decided the show would feature a disabled main character. Blindness was one option on a list Gerrold proposed, and Roddenberry chose it. The character was created as a tribute to George La Forge. But George La Forge died before The Next Generation ever aired. The man the character was built to honor never saw a single episode. Like and subscribe for Part 3. It gets better. The Best of Both Worlds, Part 2 is one of The Next Generation's most iconic episodes. Billions of people have watched it. LeVar Burton wasn't there for most of it. He was in hospital for emergency surgery when production began. His Geordi scenes were shot separately, after everyone else wrapped. Watch the episode. Geordi is only ever in close-up. He's never in the same frame as another main cast member. Not once. What looked like stylistic editing choices were logistical workarounds. One of the biggest episodes in Trek history was filmed around a missing actor. Like and subscribe for Part 4. It gets better. The visor gave Geordi sight. It also gave him constant pain. It fed the full electromagnetic spectrum directly into his brain. All of it, all the time. That caused headaches, neurological strain, and regular episodes of real pain. Dr. Crusher told him there were surgical options. Geordi said no. Surgery would degrade the visor's function. He chose to keep the pain rather than lose the capability, every single day, for years. And the show barely ever mentioned it. You watch him smiling and solving problems in engineering, and the whole time, he's in pain. Like and subscribe for Part 5. It gets better. Here is the one. Season 4, Episode 24, The Mind's Eye. Geordi's shuttle is intercepted on his way to Risa. The Romulans take him. They send an imposter to Risa so no one notices he's gone. And then they spend the entire episode conditioning him. They feed false images directly into his visual cortex. They program triggers into his nervous system. They place a collaborator nearby with an E-band transmitter, and that collaborator can remotely operate Geordi in real time. Like a puppet. The plan was to use him to assassinate a Klingon governor and destabilize the Federation-Klingon alliance. And it almost worked. Geordi had no idea any of it had happened. The thing that let him see, the one adaptation he had to a disability he was born with, was the exact vulnerability that made him exploitable. His prosthetic eye was a weapon used against the people he served. That is one of the darkest uses of a character's defining trait in all of Star Trek. If you like interesting facts about Star Trek or any other fiction, like and subscribe. There's more where this came from.